Mia adjusted her sleek leather jacket, the sharp edges of her outfit contrasting with the stifling heat of the Louisiana air. A vein pulsed at her temple as her perfectly painted nails drummed relentlessly on the steering wheel of her brand-new Audi SUV. The delivery service was running behind, and more importantly, her package, an exclusive set of high-end skincare products, was nowhere to be found. Mia's morning routine relied on those creams, and the idea of waiting another moment was unbearable. Her phone buzzed with a notification, and a sense of relief washed over her as she saw the message, "Package delivered." Her lips curled into a satisfied smile. At last, she could indulge in the luxurious set of creams and revel in the soft, calming fragrance filling her immaculately designed home. As Mia pulled into her driveway, she was ready to grab the box and head inside before anyone else could spot it. But then she saw a woman standing near Mia's front door, holding a box. She was of a similar age, her expression calm but firm. Mia's satisfaction evaporated in an instant, replaced by simmering frustration. That package, that was hers. "Excuse me," Mia barked, slamming the car door with authority as she marched toward the stranger. "What are you doing with my package?" The woman, whose name Mia would soon learn was Naomi, didn't flinch. She held the box up, her face composed, almost amused. "Is it?" Naomi asked evenly. "It's addressed to me." She pointed to the label, clearly marked with the name Naomi Matthews. Mia froze for a moment, thrown off guard. "Well, it's on my porch," she retorted, her voice trembling with a mix of confusion and anger. "That means it was delivered to the wrong address. You need to hand it over now." Naomi's expression remained unchanged. "Maybe you should check your own porch for the right package." Mia scoffed, her pride stinging. "This is my house, and I've never received a package for you." Her voice quivered with entitlement and suspicion that Naomi might be pulling some kind of trick. After all, Naomi looked like the type of person who might attempt such a thing. Naomi raised an eyebrow, her calm demeanor unshaken. "You know," she said slowly, "maybe you should check your security footage. I'm pretty sure you'll see the truth." The comment made Mia's heart race. "What are you talking about?" she snapped, trying to regain control. "You're not going to get away with this. I'll call the police." She pulled out her phone, her fingers trembling as she dialed. Naomi sighed audibly, clearly unimpressed. "Go ahead. I have nothing to hide." She leaned casually against the porch railing, watching Mia flail with her phone. Mia finally managed to make the call. "Hello, there's a woman on my property, taking my package. She won't leave and is threatening me." Her voice was sharp, rising in pitch with every word as she painted herself as the victim. Naomi rolled her eyes, unfazed by the theatrics unfolding before her. The operator, unhurried and patient, asked for details. "Help is on the way," they promised. Mia stood taller, emboldened by the idea that law enforcement would soon arrive to back her up. "You're going to regret this," she hissed at Naomi. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." Naomi gave a small, knowing smile. "I think I have a pretty good idea," she said calmly. "But I guess we'll see how this plays out." The tension between them thickened. The birds chirped in the background, and the muffled sounds of traffic added to the uneasy silence. Then, after a long pause, Naomi broke the quiet. "While we wait for the police, maybe you can explain why your neighbor's deliveries keep going missing?" Mia's eyes widened, the blood draining from her face. "What are you talking about? I haven't taken anything." Naomi's smile deepened, but it was the kind that made Mia's stomach turn. "Oh, I think the camera footage from the Browns' front porch might tell a different story. And the GPS on those missing garden tools? I'm pretty sure they ended up in your garage." Mia froze, speechless. The words "misunderstanding" that she had been preparing to shout out caught in her throat. She glanced nervously down the street, desperate for the police to arrive before Naomi could reveal more. Naomi remained composed, watching her carefully. "It's funny," she continued, "how you can stand there, lie through your teeth, and still think you're going to get away with it. The security footage doesn't lie." Mia's palms grew slick with sweat. Her heart hammered in her chest, the reality of the situation crashing down on her. Her pristine image, the one she had worked so hard to maintain, was starting to crumble. The sound of sirens grew louder, and Mia's hope flickered. Maybe, just maybe, the officers would be on her side. After all, she was the one who had called them. She was a well-known figure in the neighborhood. Surely they would see it her way. When the police arrived, two officers stepped out of their cruisers. Mia rushed toward them, her face twisting with feigned emotion. "Officers, thank goodness you're here," she called out. "This woman is trespassing on my property and accusing me of ridiculous things. She's the one who took my package." She gestured toward Naomi, her voice rising in fake distress. "She won't leave." The officers exchanged a glance before turning their attention to Naomi, who stood calmly with her arms folded. As the officers stepped closer, the tension in the air grew palpable. Mia's heart pounded in her chest, the adrenaline of the situation beginning to take its toll. She had rehearsed her story countless times, certain that her version of events, her version of truth, would be accepted. After all, she was the one who had made the call. She was the one who had presented herself as the victim. The officers, she was sure, would side with her. But Naomi, standing tall and unwavering, wasn't about to let this moment slip by. She had prepared for this, carefully collecting evidence over the past few weeks, piecing together a puzzle that had started to reveal its true picture. She had tracked the missing packages, the suspicious deliveries, and the patterns of disappearance. Naomi's presence here today wasn't a mere accident. It was the culmination of a deliberate investigation. And now, the truth was about to come to light. As the officers approached Naomi, she nodded to the phone in her hand, the screen displaying images of Mia, images that told a story far different from the one Mia had so carefully crafted. Naomi calmly explained the situation, recounting the sequence of events and showing the officers the undeniable evidence of Mia's actions. Mia's face was ashen now, the mask she had worn for so long slipping with every word Naomi spoke. The images on Naomi's phone were irrefutable, though she was caught on camera grabbing packages off porches that weren't hers. Each frame a piece of her carefully constructed facade shattering in real time. The officers remained silent, taking in the evidence with a level of professionalism that left no room for doubt. Mia's desperate explanations were lost on them. The situation was clear. She had been caught red-handed. For Mia, the reality of the situation settled in like a heavy weight. Her heart sank as the officers moved toward her, their expressions stoic. She had always prided herself on her ability to control every situation, every interaction. But this time, no amount of manipulation or charm could save her. Naomi's gaze remained steady as the officers took control of the situation, their voices firm and authoritative as they addressed Mia. The once confident woman now stood before them, stripped of her power, her reputation crumbling before her eyes. The carefully constructed image of wealth, success, and sophistication that Mia had built over the years was now exposed as nothing more than a facade, one that had been shattered by her own greed and entitlement. As the officers placed her in cuffs, the weight of her actions hit Mia like a cold wave. The once luxurious life she had tried so hard to protect was now slipping through her fingers. The social circle she had been a part of, the carefully curated narrative of her life, all of it was at risk of unraveling. Naomi watched the scene unfold, a quiet satisfaction settling in her chest. She had done her job, not just for the neighbors who had been victims of Mia's thievery, but for herself as well. She had exposed the truth in a way that would leave no room for denial. In the end, Mia was left to face the consequences of her actions. The authorities took over, and the neighbors would soon learn the truth about the woman who had preyed on them for so long. Naomi, however, walked away knowing that justice had been served, her investigation a success. But the real victory was in knowing that no one, not even someone like Mia, could escape the truth forever.